Welcome you all. I am Srinath, Faculty of Mechanical Engineering Department, Canara Engineering College, Benjanapadam. On this lecture, I will explain about fluid dynamics. So that is the topic on fluid mechanics in the module number 3. So in this session, I will explain about the Euler's and Bernoulli's equation. In fluid mechanics, we studied some terms that fluid dynamics as well as fluid kinematics. The fluid kinematics means the study of velocity and acceleration at a point in a fluid flow without taking into considerations of the forces that cause the flow. But in case of fluid dynamics, the fluid flow is the study of fluid motion with the forces causing flow. So because there are different forces are acting or on the fluid element, so that causing the fluid flow. If that forces are taken into account, the such fluid flow is called as fluid dynamics. So dynamic behavior is analyzed by Newton's second law of motion, which relates the acceleration with the forces. The fluid is assumed to be incompressible and non-viscous. So these assumptions made, so that is incompressible as well as non-viscous flow. So first of all, we want to study about the equations of motion. So this one is according to Newton's second law of motion. The net force, that is F of x, acting on fluid element in the direction of x is equals to mass, that denoted by letter m, of the fluid element multiplied by the acceleration, that's a of x, in the x direction. That means the force is a product of mass into acceleration. So here the net force acting in x directions, that is given by f of x, so that is equals to the mass of the fluid element and multiplied, or the product of the mass as well as acceleration, that is a of x, in the x direction. So mathematically it is given by the expression the f of x is equals to mass into acceleration in the direction of x, that is equation number 1. In fluid flow, these are the forces are present. The first one is a gravity force denoted by F of g. Second one, pressure force denoted by F of p. Third one, force due to viscosity of the fluid, that is given by F of v. Fourth one, force due to turbulence, that is given by F of t. Then force due to compressibility is given by F of c. So these are the forces acting on the fluid element that causes fluid flow. In the equation number 1, there is a very first expression, that is a force is given by mass into acceleration, a of x. The net force acting in the fluid element is given by, so that is f of x, that is a force acting on that x direction, is equals to the force due to gravity, then pressure force, then f of v, that is a viscous force, then f of t, force due to turbulence, and F of C, that is a force due to compressibility. So these many forces are acting on fluid element in the direction of x. So that is a net force acting on the fluid element. If the force due to compressibility F of C is negligible, so the resulting net force is like that, that is a F of x is equals to F of G plus F of P, F of V plus F of T plus F of C is actually there is a net force acting on that one. So in this expression, so now F of C is not there, that means it is a negligible. So then that equation or net force is called as Reynolds equation of motion. So in case the force due to compressibility is negligible, so such the net force acting on the fluid element, so that is given by Reynolds equations of motion. In the flow, if F of T is negligible, that is a force due to turbulence is negligible, so then resulting net force is called as Navier-Stokes equation. The resulting force is called as Navier-Stokes equation. If the flow is assumed to be ideal, then viscous force F of V is 0. Then equations of motion are known as Euler's equation of motion. In case it is a ideal fluid, there is no viscous force on that fluid element, so such equation is called as Euler's equation of motion. So now I am going to derive, that is a Euler's equation of motion. So here force due to gravity and pressure are taken into consideration. So consider a streamline in which flow is taking place. So that is in x direction as shown. So this is a diagram. So consider the fluid element. Fluid element of length of that fluid element is d of s, and area of the fluid element is d of a, and that fluid is flowing in the streamline. So that is in x direction. That is in s direction as shown in figure. So now consider a cylindrical fluid element. The cross section of that one is given by d of a and length is d of s. The force acting on the cylindrical element are, first one is a pressure force. The pressure is given by the ratio of force by area. So now pressure force is equals to pressure, intensity of the pressure into cross section area. So the pressure force is equals to P into d of a in the direction of flow. The second one is the pressure force acting opposite to the direction of the fluid flow. The opposite to the direction of fluid flow. So in this given direction, the fluid is flowing in upward direction now. That pressure force is given by P into d of a, and pressure force acting opposite to the direction of the fluid flow. So this is opposite to the direction of the fluid flow. So that is given by P plus the change in pressure in the direction of S, and the cross section area of that fluid element is d of S. For that reason, the pressure force acting opposite to the direction of the flow is given by P plus dou P by dou S. There is a change in pressure in the direction of S, and d of A, that is a cross section area. So then weight of the element. There is a weight of the fluid element. The weight of the fluid element is given by the rho into G d of A into d of S. So here shows what the density of the fluid and gravity. Then the area, the d of A and d of S, that is called as the volume of the fluid element. The volume of the fluid element. And we know the expressions, that is the density is equals to mass by volume. The mass by volume, the mass is equals to density into volume. So if you want to calculate the weight of the any element or the fluid, so that is multiplied with the gravity. The gravity, for that reason it is taken as rho into g into volume of the fluid element. So these are the force acting onto the fluid element. The first one is the pressure force acting in the direction of flow. Another one is the pressure force acting opposite to the direction of the fluid flow. Another one is the weight of the fluid element. So let theta is the angle between the direction of flow and the line of action of the weight of the element. The weight of the element, so that is acting in downward direction as shown in figure. If you see this diagram, you can see for the weight is acting on this downward direction. The resultant force on the fluid element in the direction of S must be equal to mass of the fluid element into acceleration in the direction of S. So already we studied, so according to the equations of motions, the force is given by the mass into acceleration. So for that reason, so here the resultant force on the fluid element, in the direction of S is given by the mass of the fluid element into acceleration in the direction of S. According to this, the pressure force acting in the direction of S, that is P into d of A, minus the P plus dou P by dou S into ds in multiplied with the d of S. So here it is a negative sign because that pressure force is acting opposite to the direction of the fluid flow. So then the minus the weight of the fluid element. So also we know that once again the weight is acting in downward direction, that is given by rho g d of S into ds, then cos theta. So that is equals to, there is a net force acting onto the fluid element. This is called as, so this left hand side that shows what the net force acting on the fluid element is equals to mass of the fluid element. The mass of the fluid element is given by, density into volume. So here the rho is equals to density of the fluid element, d of S and d of A is equals to volume of the fluid element into acceleration. The A is equals to acceleration. So this is the net force acting on the fluid element. So where A of S is the acceleration in the direction of S. So now A of S is equals to dv by dt. So here the acceleration is equals to rate of change of velocity. The acceleration is equals to rate of change of velocity. Here dv represents change in velocity with respect to time. So where v is the function of S, because we know that once again where v, the velocity is the function of the direction as well as time. Now dou v by dou S, that is what the velocity is a function of space coordinates. There is a s, that is dou S, and ds into dt plus the change. What is once again it is velocity is a function of t, that is dou v by dou t. So here the ds by dt is equals to v. There is a change in the space coordinates. The ds, that is with respect to time, is called as a velocity v. With respect to that means the ds by dt is equals to v. ds by dt is equals to v. Now, so this equation becomes further the v into dou v by dou S plus dou v by dou t. So this is a simplification by taking the ds by dt is equals to v. That is a velocity. If the flow is steady, at that time the change in velocity with respect to time is equals to 0 or constants. There is no change in velocity with respect to time for steady flow of fluid. So now A of S, this acceleration in the direction of S is equals to V into dou V by dou S. The substituting the values of this dou V by, that is A of S, in equation number 1 and simplifying the equation we get, so that is after simplification we will get minus dou P by dou S d of S into d of A minus rho into G into d of A into d of S then cos theta, so that is equals to density rho into d of A into ds into V dou V by dou S. Then dividing by rho ds dA, after simplification further, the minus dou P by rho dou S minus G cos theta is equals to V dou V by dou S, or dou P by rho into dou S plus G cos theta plus V dou V by dou S is equals to 0. But from the figure we have, so here the cos theta is equals to dz by ds. So from according to this uh, figure, that is a cos theta is equals to dz by ds. Therefore, the 1 by rho into dou p by dou s plus g into the cos theta is equals to, substitute that cos theta is equals to dz by ds plus v dou v by dou s is equals to 0, or the dp by rho plus g into dz plus v dv is equals to 0. So because dou s or ds is common at denominator, that is taken outside, there is a common outside, so then it's taken into right hand side, that is multiplied by the 0. So then the finally we get the expression becomes like that, dp by rho plus g dz plus v dv is equals to 0. So that is the expression for Euler's equations of motion. Now after deriving that Euler's equation of motion, so now one more equation is derived, so that is called as Bernoulli's equation. So this Bernoulli's equation is derived from the Euler's equation or continuation of that Euler's equation. The Bernoulli's equation is obtained by integrating the Euler's equation of motion. So here the Euler's equation is a dp by rho plus g dz plus v dv is equals to constant. So that is a Euler's equation. So now that Euler's equation is integrated, the after integration, if the flow is incompressible, the rho or density is constant, and so that is equals to P by rho plus G Z plus the V square by 2 is equals to constant, or we can write it as P by rho G plus G Z plus V square by 2G is equals to constant. Can also write it as the P by rho G plus V square by 2G plus Z is equals to constant. So this equation is known as Bernoulli's equation. So here the P by rho G is equals to pressure energy per unit weight of the fluid, or it's also called as pressure head. So here P represents the pressure and rho G is equals to the weight of the fluid element. This is a unit weight of the fluid element, and commonly it is called as the pressure head. The V square by 2g, that is equals to kinetic energy per unit weight or kinetic head. V square by 2g is equals to kinetic energy per unit weight or kinetic head. The Z is equals to potential energy per unit weight or potential head. So what are the assumptions are made while deriving these Bernoulli's equations? So in the first one, the fluid is ideal, that means viscosity is 0. There is a very first assumption is made, the fluid is taken as an ideal fluid, that means there is no viscosity in such fluids. The second assumption is the flow is steady. Third one is the fluid is incompressible, that means the density is constant. And fourth assumption is the flow is irrotational. The statement, in a steady ideal flow of an incompressible fluid, the total energy at any point of fluid is constant. So this is a statement for the Bernoulli's equation for in any steady ideal flow of an incompressible fluid, the total energy at any point of fluid is constant. The total energy consists of pressure energy, kinetic energy or Datum energy. So these energies per unit weight of fluid are constant. So that is the pressure energy is given by P by rho g. The kinetic energy are given by V square by 2g. The datum energy is given by Z. So mathematically, the Bernoulli's theorem is written as P by the rho g is given by W plus V square by 2g plus Z is equals to constant. So this is the final expression for the Bernoulli's equation or Bernoulli's theorem. So in this session we discussed about equations of motions. Then we derived the expression for Euler's equations of motions. Then we derived the Bernoulli's equation from that Euler's equation of motion. Thank you.